Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mr. S with just a little video I thought I'd put out while you guys are probably a little stir crazy. So I took a couple current videos of some of my current fish and found some older videos of creatures I had and mashed together. There's 23 minutes of relaxing entertainment. So you can at some point just tune me out and put on whatever music or whatever you'd like. You can sit quietly and listen to nothing and mute. You can listen to me ramble for just a little bit. I don't know how long I'll go for. It just sort of depends on what comes to my mind as I'm sort of watching my fish. Now, I'll give you a little play-by-play on this tank right here. You can see in the upper left-hand corner the two large goldfish. There's the goldish and speckled one. And then there's a white one that you can't see right now, but she'll be into the picture in just a moment. On the bottom you can see there's this interesting sea creature that's dark brownish with orange spots. And if you look to the right of him, there's one just like him that's very, very white that matches, whoops, sorry, zoomed out, or zoomed in. There he is on the bottom right. That's an albino version of the spotted one. The black one with a red tail is a red tail shark. The little guy scooping on the bottom right now that's white with little black markings, that's a panda catfish. On the top are guppies, the last of my surviving 8-year generations. Yeah, there's the big goldfish eating stuff. Anyways. And then from here, the other tank that you'll see in a little bit is my cichlid tank with all of homes made out of coffee cups. You'll see. Anyways, so I don't know what you guys have been doing. I have literally locked myself in my house. Except for yesterday, I decided the weather looked nice, and my wife said, why don't you go out and take a motorcycle ride? So I did. And I rode out towards Lake Matthews on isolated roads and got caught in 2 different rainstorms and got very wet. That was not fun, but it was an adventure. But other than that, it has pretty much been lockdown and trying to figure out what is going to come out of all of this. And I keep trying to think of lessons I could teach for econ and psych, and then part of me says it really doesn't matter. I've just spent a lot of time sitting in my kitchen, basically, where I'm surrounded by 3 fish tanks, and I just watch the fish and try not to watch too much of the news. Been watching enough to keep me informed, but not enough to obsess, I guess I should say. Yeah, let's see, what else? I see that school's going to be having some things going online, or YouTube trivia on Monday. Sounds interesting. And I think a lot of us are just on hold. And what I found fascinating is, I've talked to you all year about the idea of perspectives. And one perspective that I've been noticing is many, many people seem rather bored, stir-crazy, isolated, depressed, anxious, out of the norm, not used to this. And I'll be honest, for me it's been a little bit different, because as I get ready to head into retirement, what's going on right now is sort of retirement for me, in that almost everyone I know will be still working or going to school or doing something. And I'll be the only one alone all day until people are done with whatever they're doing. Now, of course, I realize I can go visit people and go do things which right now we're not supposed to. But the overall idea that I'm consciously aware that I'm going to be spending probably quite a bit of time alone. And so this time off from work, but not really doing work and trying not to be around other people at all, has been very interesting. And the other thing that I found fascinating is we've got the most rain, the coldest weather, at a time when we're supposed to be locked in, when for many it'd be a great time to do a lot more things and enjoy this and participate in things. I still tell you to go outside and be active in your own solo way. Go for walks. I'm still walking. Take your pets out for walks. I know it's hard. It's a different experience. I'll argue, though, for each one of us, it should be a time to sort of look at this and just realize that 2020 will just have this historical, social mark. And it's funny, just as I said that, the video that comes in right now is, if you haven't been there, this is 9/11 Memorial, where one of the buildings stood. And it's just sort of interesting that the last time we've really seen anything like that was during something like 9/11, which didn't last nearly as long as this is already in the sense of a national shutdown. So this is my other tank. These are the interesting fish. So if you look on the left, you've got all of these lightish white and somewhat orangish yellow fish. Those are African cichlids, and those all were baby fish I got from Mr. Podley. In front is an orange spotted Plecostomus like in the other tank. They're really neat fish, and I like them. There is another red-tailed shark. And then if you look in the far right, there's one clear fish swimming by itself. She's picking at some plants right now on the right-hand side. That is a guppy. And it is the last surviving female guppy, and that's why she's in this tank and the males are in the other tank, because I don't want any more babies. Now, what's interesting is, this is a little psychological study that I've done, is the cichlids will eat live food. They're aggressive fish. The reason they have coffee cups is, if you'll watch, they'll sit inside of the cups as their little houses. They'll go underneath. See, there's one there in the handles. They pick their little spots so he comes through there, and they use these as little caves or their own personal, as I call it, their cichlid condominiums. There's food on the bottom that the one on the left is eating. So they're very aggressive fish, and they will go after and eat other fish. Now, the guppy on the right should be fair game to the cichlids. But what happened was, I put her into this tank when I started it with the ones on the left, the cichlids, when they were all much, 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 much smaller. The largest one now, which is inside the cup, yellow looking at us, when she was about the size of the one right by the Plecostomus in the front there, the little one, everyone else was much, much smaller. See, look, they're fighting for food. See, they're aggressive. Look at that. She's got a wafer. Oh, she just swallowed it whole. They were all tiny, and so was the guppy. And so I was doing a psychological, social study of aggressiveness, of putting a non-aggressive fish, guppy, with very, very aggressive fish, cichlids, who in theory should eat her. But what has happened since they've been raised together for months and months now, I treat her as, they'll be aggressive towards her, but they won't go after her to harm her. In the last day, a couple days, when I moved the tank from school home, I decided to move the female into that tank. So this is the last time on film that she was in this tank, and now she lives with the fish from school, which are much, much calmer and nicer, and she seems already a little bit happier, not living in a tank, basically surrounded by piranha / sharks that would like to eat her. So that's what's going on with these fish. They're fun. Fish are fun. Let's see. I think with that, I'm going to end and just let you enjoy the rest of the video. Send me comments. Send me emails. We'll talk about school another time. Look at it this way. Here's what I'm going to say about school. I know a couple things and I don't know a couple things. If you are in psychology, we're going to finish Unit 7. So we have to test on 14 emotions and do Chapter 15 on personality, and we're done. If you are on Econ, we have to test on Unit 3 and do Unit 4 and Unit 5, but no Unit 6. So that's where things are at. I'll double check my areas and might have to change the assignments so I put them up there. There's stuff coming from the College Board, but we'll know more in the next week or so. It looks like there may be some type of online testing that you're going to do at home or something. I don't know. They're cutting the size of the test and the curriculum, so that's why I'm telling you, Psych will go to 15, Econ will go to Unit 5. Don't sweat that stuff, okay? Because who knows how the school year is going to finish. Just watch the fish. And I got other videos after the fish. And just relax. And try to enjoy this time off. And spend some quiet time. And just really, really relax and look at yourself in a positive, meaningful way. And just be. Just like the fish here. It's tough. They're inside their aquarium, but see, he likes chasing. So, anyways, I will put something up again soon. Talk to you later. Be good.